Hi, this is Tess with Potter's Place here in Portland, Oregon. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make a large bowl. The ball I have here is pretty decent size. It's probably about 8 to 10 pounds. In order to make a bowl, you don't have to make something this large. You can go ahead and use the same techniques that I'm showing you today with a smaller bowl, even down to a pound to a pound and a half. It's all the same way. You make them all the same. First, you want to go ahead and center the piece. And when centering larger pieces of clay, you want to go ahead and use a lot of force. A lot of the times I go ahead and stand up to go ahead and get leverage on it. Now when you're throwing a bowl, you want to go ahead and make sure that your base, whatever size the base is that you center, is the size of base that you want for the bowl that you're making. So I'm going to make mine a decent sized base. This is a 12-inch bat that I'm using. So it's a little bit less than the 12-inch bat that I'm using. It's probably about 2 inches less. I'm going to go ahead and put the hole in the clay. Go ahead and put my thumbs on the clay and put the center on the center and put a hole. I can't talk today. Put a hole in the clay. Okay, and I want to go down far enough, and I can measure it, even if it's this big of a chunk. I can go ahead and measure it and make sure. I've got about 1 inch, so it's a little too much, but I'm going to go ahead and open it up anyway because I want a little bit of clay left on the bottom to compress. I'm going to open up the base like I do with any other piece. I'm going to go ahead and support it on this side and squeeze in like this and then open it out. Once it's open, I'm going to go ahead and compress the bottom, which simply means that you're just going to go in and you can use a sponge, you can use your fingers. I've always found it a little bit easier to use a sponge. And this also helps you make the bottom flat as well, because right now I'm getting a good sense as to how flat the bottom is going to be and how big I want it. Okay, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and pull the walls up. And as I'm pulling the walls up, unlike a vase, when you pull the walls up, you want to slightly move towards the center. When you're doing a bowl, you want to go ahead and slightly move outwards. And I don't want to pull it too far out on the first try, on the first pass. We've got a nice little V shape here. I'm going to go back into the center and take a little more clay out of there. Try not to hit the rim of the piece. Now I'm going to start pulling the bowl out a little bit more because this is actually a pretty decent sized bowl. So I want the walls to be a little bit larger. Got a lot of clay down here at the base. So I'm going to go ahead and work on that. Okay, with any kind of a bowl or platter that has a ledge like this where it comes out, you want to leave a little bit more clay down here because all this weight is leaning on this clay, and if it's too thin, it'll go ahead and fold right on over. You want to remember also to go ahead and make sure the rim of the bowl is a little thicker. That way nobody's running it into anything and chipping the rim, because those are really easy to chip. Alright, now that I'm done with the shape on the outside, I'm going to go ahead and go back into the center and make sure that it's flat in the way that I like it before I go ahead and cut it loose from the bat. Which is something actually I forgot to show on my beginner's video. I'm going to go ahead and get the water out of here. When you're done with the piece, you always want to go ahead and take a sponge and just run it along the wall of the piece, just to go ahead and get off any gunk or leftover slip that's on the piece. The sponge marks usually do not show up in the glaze, especially if the glaze is thicker. If the glaze is a really thin glaze, it may show up, but it's a lot better than looking at mush and weird marks that the slip can leave behind. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use the cutting tool now. I'm going to go ahead and cut through the base of the pot, or the base of the bowl, on the bottom of the bat. And with these cutting tools, you always want to make sure these are really tight. You always want to make sure you put it right down to the base end of the bat. You can run the wheel, or you can decide that you can do it with the wheel standing still. It's just up to you. I always do it when it's running real slow. That way there's really no room for mistake. And that's how you throw a large bowl.